Hello, my name is Kate Sheeran Swed. If you are not familiar with my work, I am a science fiction and fantasy author. I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview today about how Kickstarter works in case you've never used it before, and on why I love Kickstarter so much as a platform. And I'm going to be doing this by searching for a Kickstarter campaign that I know is running right now, but that I have not backed myself. So you'll actually be able to see me go through the process of backing this campaign because I was already planning to back it. I am very into Kickstarter, so I already know what I'm looking for, but I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview here. So if you go to Kickstarter, you'll see that at the front page here, Kickstarter is already showing me some recommendations, and this is because I've backed over the past couple of years and longer. I've been doing Kickstarter for a while. I've backed maybe 100 campaigns, and so it knows that I want to see books. It gives me these recommendations. It's kind of like going on to Amazon or one of the other retailers that you buy from a lot, except that this time it's Kickstarter showing you projects that the artists are doing directly. So it is like a pop-up bookstore, and that's what I love about it. So look, I've never heard of this. The Other Worlds Book 2. That is a beautiful cover. That is absolutely gorgeous. I've never seen that before in my life. And in fact, I'm going to click on it. That's not the one I was planning to look at today. And I will look at the other one that I planned. But here you can see that this one is doing really well. Oh, interesting. It has oracle cards. So this creator is doing a book. It looks like it's a book 2 in a series. They're doing very well here. And they have oracle cards too, which is really exciting. So you can kind of see right away that I got distracted because of how awesome Kickstarter is and some of the things that it's showing me. I'm going to just give you a quick overview of the top menu, and you can see all of the different kinds of art and projects that people do on Kickstarter. These are businesses, they are individual creators, they have dance, they have design and fashion. What I'm interested right now is going over to publishing, and then I'm going to come down to the fiction. So if you look on the left side, you can see under publishing that you have academic publishing, anthologies, art books, calendars, children's books, comedy, and I want to just go right over to fiction. When you click on fiction, it will start to give you this look. Evan Winter's Rage of Dragons. That's an incredible book. Oh my gosh, I didn't know he was doing a Kickstarter campaign. I'm going to lose so much money today. No, I'm going to spend my money on wonderful projects. That's what I'm going to do. So you can see all of these great Kickstarter campaigns that are running, and you can just explore this like a pop-up bookstore. You know, here is the year's best Canadian fantasy and science fiction. Looks interesting. A lot of these are fantasy books. They're special editions. They might be brand new. Here's a Sherlock Holmes book. This is awesome. There are a lot of book projects running right now. Dark sales. Ooh, dark lit sales. That's interesting. Okay. But because I know that I want to back a particular campaign, I'm going to go back to the front page because Kickstarter actually served this campaign up to me as a recommendation, and I've never even checked it out yet because I knew that I wanted to show you all how this works by using this campaign. If you're a fan of Patty Jansen, who's an amazing science fiction writer, Patty's campaign is really doing well as well. Space Agent Jonathan Bartel Omnibus. So all 6 sci-fi crime mystery novels offered in print and other formats. So if I were to go into the publishing section and search for sci-fi or science fiction, I bet that this would be one of the first things to come up. Right here, it tells you at the top right what the creator's campaign is. Patty isn't, I believe, in Australia, so that's why the $4.93, you're seeing it in US currency, so it's a bit of a strange number because of US currency. So it looks like Patty is doing awesome so far. She still has 24 days to go, 40 backers, and I do want to back this project. But first, you don't have to just click on back this project and pay. You can learn all of this information about what Patty is doing with her new campaign. So you get the story. In space, your worst enemies are your fellow travelers. So I'm already hooked because you know that I love stories about groups of people that are coming together or conflicting as they're trying to make a goal happen together. And you can read all about the book here. When Jonathan Bartel first goes to space, he counts himself lucky. A few years prior, scientists discovered bacterial life on Europa, and the universities are teeming with exobiologists, most of whom end up flipping burgers because there is no work for them. And you can go on to read more about the book. So this explains what is new about the Kickstarter. Everything on Kickstarter, every project that happens, there has to be something new. So you could make a special edition of an older book. You could do like what I'm going to do. I've put together I had a serial running on my website. It's never been an ebook or print before, so I'm going to be doing a paperback and a hardcover and an ebook. So here Patty says that the stories have only ever been in ebook and audio, but never in print. They're novellas and they're short, and the book will have some color illustrations and will only be available on Kickstarter and later on her website. So Patty's never going to be releasing these books via the big retailers. And you'll get that a lot. Sometimes Kickstarter will, it'll show you some exclusive. Creators will do some exclusive things. And so here you have some of what the artwork is going to do. And I know Patty's an amazing artist as well. So then it tells you more about the story, because that's really what we're most interested in. And you just can go all the way through here, scroll all the way down and see more information about the books. And when you get to the bottom, it has extras. It talks about add-ons. It talks about stretch goals. Every backer gets digital files of the illustrations. That's very cool. I like to use Kickstarter artwork a lot of times as my desktop background. I'll like change it out because some of these people have some amazing artwork. And so Patty shows the postage and risks and challenges. The books are done. No risk other than an alien invasion. And Kickstarter always has artists say risks and challenges at the bottom. And a lot of times with books, this is it. We'll say the book is done. The only thing I can foresee would be a printing delay or something like that. And I always build in a very large buffer for my books. I haven't, knock on wood, but I haven't had a problem delivering anything beforehand, because I always say, just in case, if I get the proof from the printer and it comes out looking wonky or weird and I have to reformat it or something, and that actually has never happened, but I always build in a little bit of extra time. And the other thing that Kickstarter added, which is kind of nice, is use of AI. And here Patty says, I plan to use AI generated content in my project. And then she has to go on to explain what parts of her project use AI generated content, and she has to be specific about that. My project will not be using any AI, but I like Patty's here because it shows how much information Kickstarter is expecting transparency from the creators, and Patty is saying parts of the internal illustrations will be AI generated, but of course, Patty is also an artist herself, and so she works very in depth. She does just amazing work with some of this AI generated photography. She uses her own photography, her own artwork as the base, as she says here, for the AI, the edit, and will edit the result extensively. And she does not use the names of artists in prompts and uses her own work as a seed. And I think that's important information to know. And so I'm going to come back up here. When you're done reading through the story, and you don't have to read all of it, however much information you want to know, you can click over to the rewards. The rewards are on the top right here, or you can see them if you're back at the campaign, and this is how I prefer to look at them, running down the right side of the page. It says make a pledge without a reward. You can just give money if you want, if you believe in the project and you want to donate some money towards it. Kickstarter, as I've mentioned, is not a charity. It's not like GoFundMe where I'm saying, something happened and I need support from the community. It's actually there to present a new project, a new product, to give backers. We say, instead of customers, we say backers on Kickstarter. And I really like that because, of course, you're all readers, but you might also back a game campaign or something like that. And so you're not just a reader, you're a backer on Kickstarter. And I'm a backer on Kickstarter, which makes this more of a community. And so, but you can, if I was like, sci-fi just isn't my jam. I can't imagine myself ever saying that. But I really like this author. I want to, support this project. So I'm going to give them $5 or I'm going to give them $10 or whatever. You can do that. I almost never see it. I see a few times. Sometimes I want to support other authors. I want to go in the community and I'm like, I don't want to buy a book that I'm not going to read. So I might give an author who's a friend of mine, but writes a genre that I never would read. Then I might give them some money. But what you're looking for here is you're looking to go shopping for books. That's what we're here for, is to go shopping for books. So you can see available rewards. So the latest novella reparation. This is, and then it will give you the add-ons in a second. So a Australian for $4, and it shows me it's going to be $3 US. The Jonathan Bartel Omnibus ebook for $17, and that's what I'm actually interested in getting. So I'm going to get that. I already know that I want to get all the books. You can get omnibus audio in this campaign. You can get the complete paperback series. Wow, that's a really good price. See, now I'm thinking, I think I'll still get the ebooks, but that's a very good price. And you can get all of there are bigger packages here that Patty has running. Hardcover complete series. That is such a good price. And Kickstarter isn't really here for like, oh, that's such a good price. I'm saying that because I believe that she said that these are novellas, so they're short. So that's why the paperback price is so low. I'm not really worried about how much the paperback costs. I often pick ebooks just because I read a lot of ebooks. But here you can see what all the campaign levels are. You can get all of her sci-fi books, and it is pretty awesome. So I'm going to come back up here. I am going to choose the ebooks. So I am going to click Pledge Australian $25. And it's going to say, this is what your pledge amount is. It's going to be about $17 because I'm in the US. Continue. And here you get configure reward. And what that means is if I wanted to, I could put some add-ons in. I could add an audiobook. I could add another bunch of the ebooks if I wanted to. And what's nice about that is that you could go to another one of the digital rewards and you could add the entire ebook omnibus. You could send that one to a friend. You can add her other series here. I have Patty's other series, so I'm not going to add anything on at this point. What's difficult sometimes is if you get a digital reward, you can't add a physical reward mostly. If you get a physical reward, though, which means like a paperback or a hardcover, then you can add a more paperbacks. You can add signed books from I don't know if Patty's doing signed books because she's in Australia and it gets expensive, but you can get either a drop shipped one that just comes straight from the printer, or I'm doing signed books, so you can add signed books of my backlist if you want to, and continue. Oh, and I'm not logged in. So let me just pause this while I log in. And I clicked the pledge button, and now you can see that it says, thank you, Kate Sharon Swed. And it tells me what I pledged for. I can go back in at this point until the campaign ends, which is on May 2nd. I can edit my pledge. I could go back, I can edit my pledge, I can add things, I can go up, I can say, oh, I really want that paperback after all. I could go change to the paperback. I can do what I want. So that's very exciting. And here it shows me some more projects that I might be interested in. Some of these, like 10 acrylic pins, I don't know why Kickstarter's showing me that, but I know why it's showing me the books. So if you will stick with me for a few more minutes, I'm going to explore the publishing side a little bit more deeply. So I'm going to go into publishing, and I'm going to go into fiction, and I am again going to write, I'm going to type science fiction in the top. Science fiction, and here it's offering me comic books, graphic novels. What I really want is a novel, though. Science fiction is not one of the largest things on Kickstarter. I believe the largest genres are fantasy, and that makes sense because Brandon Sanderson made like $50 million on Kickstarter. doing and brought a lot of his fans, but I think also romance is another big one. So I'm going to write a science fiction novel and see if I can come up with, in comics, I don't want comics. Let's just see what it brings up. All right, there we go. So we got Resonate, a YA rock star science fiction novel. Interesting. So never heard of this author before, Courtney Grace Powers. That sounds really interesting. And so you can just kind of look through and be like, all right, what is here? Starfall, a science fiction graphic novel, a faith-driven science fiction novel. Interesting. Here is Imperial Nova sci-fi novel. It looks like this has ended. You have to look. Sometimes it will show you some things that have already ended. Kind of surprised that it didn't bring up Patty's campaign. So let's try a few other things and see. Sci-fi janitors. And you can see some other things or games are coming up. So I'm going to go back over to publishing and I'm going to browse around instead of trying to search for sci-fi because apparently that is not. Oh, show me fiction projects on Earth sorted by magic. You can do other filters here. Here we go. You can go to filters and that's probably where I should have been searching. So show all projects. I'm going to go into live projects. That means that it's running now. I want to look for sci-fi. And there, Patty's came up. Here's another one. Cosmic Secret, sci-fi romance space opera. I'm not really into sci-fi romance so much, and so I'm probably not going to click on that, but if you're interested in it, that might be something. You can look for your area where you live. I'm going to actually check out The Rage of Dragons. This is a very good book. And of course, Evan Winter is quite known for his books, and that's why Evan is making almost $80,000, and that's very exciting to see. So he's doing an illustrated deluxe edition, and that is very exciting to see more traditionally published authors using Kickstarter. And this is just gorgeous. And so Patty's did not have a video. A lot of creators will use a video for their campaign. You can watch a video, hear them talk a little bit about their project, and it will tell you where they are too locally. So when my project comes live, it's going to be saying Albany. So I'm going to just bring up my preview page here and stay tuned because next week what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a tour ahead of time of my campaign, Phantom Station, which is a sci-fi adventure. The campaign is launching April 22nd and it's going to be live through May 17th. So I will put the links in the notes below the video here so that you can come and be notified. And also I will put the link to Patty's campaign so that you can come and you can check out her books. And I'm going to be sharing some other sci-fi campaigns. I hope that you can see, and I did stumble around. I did this on purpose. I wanted to do a live, unscripted, just exploration. And I do know the platform pretty well. So I was over there, going through because I'm comfortable with it, but I wanted to show you how it works and what you're looking at and some of the exciting books that you can find and the fact that these are different. I come in maybe once a quarter or a couple of times a quarter if I don't know of any campaigns that are running that I want to back that I haven't seen elsewhere, and I just look through. And I often will find some new to me authors that I have never read their work and that I can fall in love with their stories this way. And I just will never stop talking about Kickstarter as a pop-up bookstore, as a way to kind of have that feeling of discovery, even though you're online, because I know a lot of us, our routines have changed after the pandemic. And as much as I love browsing in a bookstore, I know that that is not something that's available all the time. Not all of us. I grew up in a town that has one bookstore, and it's a Barnes and Noble, and it is half an hour from where my house was. And so there were no indie bookstores in my town, even though I grew up in a pretty sizable city. And so it's not just the pandemic that has done this. But I like that Kickstarter has kind of created this pop-up bookstore feeling where you can search around and you can really learn a lot about the books. There are usually samples that are linked over. you know, you can see artwork and you can ask questions and you can interact directly with the creator, which you know that I love that. I love just being able to talk to everyone directly. So I could go on and on about this. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the notes below this video and I will come through and answer the questions. And next week, stay tuned because I will give you a preview. I will click on this handy link up here, Edit in Basics, and I will show you a live working preview of my projects, so you will be able to see what some of the reward levels are going to be. I've finally gotten the final size down, so I know what the reward levels are going to be at least when it kicks off, and so you can start planning and thinking about what you'd like to do, and that's going to be next week that will come out. So thank you so much for watching this and for considering Kickstarter and supporting artists. Please go check out Patty's campaign. Patty's books are amazing. I think that this would be a great entry to her work. If you haven't read any of Patty's books before, but if you have, you know that she's an awesome science fiction writer. So go check out her campaign and please come and follow my campaign so you'll know when it launches. Thanks again. Have a great day, everyone.